Hallo, hallo. We're back. Why do people criticize Ellie so much? I don't think people criticize Ellie, I think people criticize the studio. Which is different, you know, it's like saying criticizing Michael Jackson is the different thing that saying Michael Jackson music is bad, right? I think people criticize a lot of the business decisions and development priorities that the EAG has had, but I think most people agree that the game is pretty good. If you want my honest opinion. And I don't. By the way, I do think that a lot of the complaints are justified. You know, the game is good. This guy is destroying me. A lot of people saying endgame still empty, nothing to do. People are just noobs, you know. There's people saying that you know, don't even get to endgame. They Personally, I think a lot of it is just misinformation. I think Last Epoch has problems, has progression problems, more than content problems. And balance problems. Why am I in the dark? I have no idea. I'll check. What the hell? Let me fix it. I think the webcam's gone crazy. What the hell? Oh yeah. The webcam goes crazy, guys. I don't know. The game is very young, there's not many people making content, and the average player is just very lost, you know? Like, a lot of people would argue that, oh, you know, it takes so long to get to Empowered Monolith. You know, a lot of these complaints come down from just inexperience, you know? It's like if you complain about the Path of Exile 2 campaign taking 30 hours. Well, yeah, if you're very slow and very bad, it takes 30 hours, it takes me that. But in reality, you can do it much faster if you know what you're doing, right? So I feel like a lot of the complaints are just comes down to inexperience. Oh. We're looking for Rune Prison Complex. No. At the end of the day, when you think about these games and you think about there's no end game. For example, I've been playing PoE 2 right for the last I played for like 150 hours, like the 0.4. And I tell you what I did. I made a character and I killed monsters in different... And they appear in different types of circles. Some monsters were red, some monsters were green. They dropped crafting things that allowed me to progress. But at the end of the day, I'm just like killing monsters in different areas that they spawn in with different colors. But if you actually look at it, in these games, the actual content, the actual mechanical content that you do, in my opinion, doesn't really change anything. It creates the illusion of progression, and it gives you goals to do. But I mean, clearing a map in PoE is just clearing a map. It doesn't matter if it has ritual, it doesn't matter if it has abyss, it doesn't matter if it has... You're just killing monsters going forward, you know? Gameplay doesn't really... In my opinion, gameplay is not the reason. When it comes to league mechanics and stuff, I don't think it's the reason why people play these games. It's because the rewards are enticing and you want to progress. And I think the thing that this game doesn't do too well is doing that. It gives you too much power for free, too early. And a lot of the interesting stuff is locked behind time. Difficulty is locked behind time. PoE 2 has that problem too, where like, you know, you want to go do the thing that you want to do, but you're forced to do filler maps in between to get there physically. And that gets frustrating and people lose interest and people quit the game. It also comes down to what you enjoy in games. What is important to you. In PoE 2 I have no dopamine for drops of fighting. Boss fights are fun in the campaign, but the endgame you just delete everything. Yeah, I mean that tends to be a problem in these games to begin with. But I would say that At least from my experience, it is definitely a bigger problem in PoE 2. Like, I have done, again, like, PoE 2 has way better bosses on average, right? Especially regular bosses than Ellie. It's not even close. But you actually, like, let's just say a PoE boss has 10 mechanics and an Ellie boss has 2 mechanics. I find myself interacting with the 2 mechanics in Ellie sometimes more engaging and more, like, I'm able to read the ability and react to it, you know? And in PoE, we're like, okay, the bosses can do a bunch of abilities, but a lot of the times it's just like, well, the boss dies before he does a single ability, or I die before I know what the fuck is going on. And, you know, a lot of people like that power fantasy of just, like, fucking one-shotting the boss and blah, blah, blah. But, I don't know, if you have very complex bosses, but the kill time is so fast that the bosses don't get to do their mechanics, do you really have better bosses? You know what I'm saying? It's like if you're dating a really pretty girl and you put a bag over her head. What's the point? You know? I'd rather see, you know, I'd rather look at her pretty face, you know? But it comes down to what do you enjoy? Like, I find the visual clarity in PoE really, really frustrating. Personally. Like, to the point, like, and I've seen more people complain about this. I was watching some highlight videos, and Queen69 was mentioning this too, and Alkaiser was mentioning this. Like, when you fight certain mobs, like the Exalt mages, like the Exiles on PoE, you literally can't see them, so what you do is you have the minimap open and you attack whatever the logo is on the minimap. It is easier to see the enemy in the minimap than it is to look at your screen and look for it. And that made me... yeah, enough said, basically, you know.
Stand down or die.
So again, I think it doesn't really matter what mechanic they add in either PoE 2 or Ellie. Like, for me, if they don't fix the combat in PoE 2, it will just feel to me like exactly like PoE 1, where like the one-shot everything, like visual clarity nightmare is just gonna be there, right? It doesn't fucking matter how many leak mechanics you add if the gameplay is always just standing still and making everything explode. And the same would be in this game. Like, if they don't make progression and difficulty matter, it doesn't matter what leak mechanic they add. It doesn't matter if you're killing the monsters in a circle or in a square or in a dungeon or in a arena or in a temple or in a cave. It doesn't matter if I don't care about progression, which is the only thing that I should care about. It's completely pointless, in my opinion. I'm gonna try to get Lord of the Exile LP. Oh. Or not. I'm not super powerful at the moment. Character is only 6 hours old, so... And I'm doing 150 corruption. Bridge. How would you fix Ellie? I think they need to make it so gear progression and difficulty are correlated. Like for example, in Path of Exile, they do this really well, right? Like if you want to get item level, whatever, 82, well, you gotta do a zone area level 82, right? And that will unlock like the affix tiers that belong to that item level. In LE, the only thing that makes you go up, the only thing that more difficulty does for your regular drops is like, oh, you're slightly more likely for them to be better. But it doesn't really unlock anything. And because of that, it just feels like, because you can win at the most powerful things from a very, very early moment, there's not really a point on progressing, because you already have access to everything that you would want. So what they need to do is they need to create a progression system that that is tied to difficulty and the necessity to progress. For example, if they made it so tier 7s didn't drop before, I don't know, 300 corruption, for example, you would make it so people would engage with tier 6s, right? Because you would need tier 6s to get to tier 300 corruption, right? But because you can drop tier 7s on 100 corruption, and the only thing that you get from going to 300 corruption is just, oh, I'm just slightly more likely to get them. You can just like basically, you don't need to go up in corruption to finish up your character. And not only that, because you're getting way too much power while doing the easy difficulties. For example, look at my items. I have tier 6, I have tier 6. Like, this character is 6 hours old. I'm on purples. On SSF speedrunning, right? It's like, this can't be, you know? It can't be. Because if on a 6-hour character, I'm already on the second best kind of items you can get. Why would I play more than 6 hours, right? What is me going past the... What am I getting rewarded for my time? And this is actually pretty important because it's the reason why people grind, you know? And that doesn't mean you need to make it tedious or you don't need to make it noob friendly or whatever, right? But there should be clear steps of progression on items that you can get, no matter what kind of player you are, no matter if you're doing the easiest content in the game or the hardest content in the game. There should be stuff that you're looking forward to unlock and stuff that you're looking forward to progress towards. And at the moment in this game, the only thing that is unlockable through difficulty are basically the drops from the Uber boss, right? Everything else just... And so a couple drops from Orovis, which need like 200 corruption, which is nothing, basically. And I think that's a problem, right? Then they also have a problem with between difficulty and, especially in softcore, death, difficulty, and reward, right? Like in PoE, you really don't want to be dying, otherwise you lose your maps, you lose your tablets. That's not good, right? But in this game, because you don't really get punished for dying about anything that doesn't matter, because you don't really lose maps, right? You can just like do a new one. You don't really lose anything. It makes it so you don't really need to engage the game. You don't really care about anything you're doing because nothing really matters, right? Because your losses don't matter, your wins don't feel good. If you can't lose, you can't really win. This guy is fucking scary. That's one of the reasons I play hardcore in this game, because it adds that extra layer of risk, I guess, or... This guy is fucking dangerous, though. I mean, it is 30% health, 30% health. I really want him to get out of there. Thank God. He better drop me something. A stanky motherfucker. Hey, if I wasn't, you can even get them. Yeah, that's true. You can even get these kind of items in the campaign with the omens and with Nemesis, and like, this is stupid. You know, the developers are so worried about like pleasing the casuals that they forget that they create a numbless, weightless experience. They're so concerned to make sure everyone feels good that nobody feels good. You know. Or everyone feels good so early that they just get bored and their dick gets numb and they quit, you know? For example, that's something that PoE is not afraid to do. Like, PoE 2 is not really afraid of making players lose if they deserve to lose. Holy fuck, more health, 30% health, 30% health. 25% less damage taken on high health. Fucking Thanos. Are skills in LE that are not playable? I mean, depends on what you define playable. The same as in PoE, right? It depends, like, all these games have the same issues, you know? If you take into account investment, well, a lot of things can be played with enough investment. Get triple tier 7s and you can play pretty much anything. Just like in PoE, you can make anything worth if you keep throwing divines at it. But if you're talking like League Starter and like... It's basically the same as in other games. And the people telling you that's not true, they're basically clueless. And they're not using the same lens they use in other games. Every game has like meta starter builds. And the people saying that LE is like different than other games in this is because they're clueless. Hey, what's up, Bina? So, I mean, I think the floor for failing in LE, it's much lower than it is in other games, but it's been getting quite high, honestly, compared to what it used to be. What do I think about Grim Dawn? I've tried getting into Grim Dawn a couple times, and I don't know what it is. I never get really into it. I might try to get into it after when my vacation starts with the expansion. We'll see. Hard agree. On the meta thing, Bina. It's like, you know, people would say like, oh, you can level with anything in LE. Oh, well, yeah, if it takes you 5 days to get to empower normal, you know, empowered monolith, sure. But for example, you grab a build, like look at this build for example. I'm level 81 in 6 hours. I was in empowered monolith in 3 hours 40 minutes. Hardcore SSF. Can all builds do that? Can all abilities do that? Absolutely fucking no. So the gap between the good abilities and the bad abilities is exactly the same as in all of these games. Especially when it comes to like starters, you know, like season starters. Like if you play something meta versus something that you do on your own, like some shit like self-cooked random build, we're talking like 100 times the power, you know. to give you an example, like the place where I am right now with my character, right? Like your average, you know, PoE streamer who comes to play LE for a bit and plays LE for a couple days, they would play, I don't know, 20 hours playtime and they would be below what I'm doing. So it all depends about who, you know, expertise and the same. Like if I go to play LE, PoE 2, like, dude, the campaign took me fucking, I don't know, 12 hours maybe, the campaign. Because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So of course it, you know. And I was playing something, I mean, something okay, I think. I'm sure I could have picked something worse, for sure. That's pretty good. I'm feeling lucky. Not lucky. PoE has the same issue balance. Yeah, but I mean, it is... You know, I think that's kind of unavoidable, honestly. You will always have something that is a bit better. The goal is to have the things that are better than the stuff that is bad, not be, like, 50 times better, right? But you will always have something that is slightly better. And then you also have the problem where, like, if the game is just easy and everything works, then nothing works, right? Which, to be honest, for me, that has been my problem in PoE 2. Like, I played a bunch of builds in PoE 2. Some I've made, some I followed, some were meta, some were like completely random. Like, I played from Earthquake to Lightning Arrow to now the Monk guy to like, I played Explosive Ballista, I played what was it called? I haven't played minions and spellcasters basically, but everything else I pretty much played. And no matter what I played, I have never seen a boss mechanic basically, you know. I have beat every boss, I don't know what the boss does. I have beat this new Arbiter 5 times, I don't know what he does. I have no idea. And I think this is a sentiment that is pretty much... It's not a me thing, everyone's going through... Nobody has seen a boss mechanic, is what I'm trying to say. Balance is not possible? And perfect balance is not possible, but they should... I think you should try to aim for a realm... You know, if some bosses... If most builds kill a boss in 5 minutes and there's a build that is one-shotting it, that is the kind of balance that should be addressed, right? It's completely fine if there's a build that does 4 minutes and another build that does 6 minutes, you know? But a game like Last Epoch, where the axes that interact with each other are not that high, because for example in PoE, and especially in PoE 1, because in PoE 1 you have even more freedom than in PoE 2. In PoE 2 you have more constrictions because weapon types are tied to skills, right? So that is one layer of blockage for theory crafting that they've done in that game, right? In LE, everything is blockaded, right? Like if LE was built like PoE, you could basically have like a Sentinel with Flame Ward and Reaper form. You could literally do that, right? Well, that's gonna be way harder to balance than if you have everything basically isolated and, you know, only the Paladin is Paladin and only the... Like, I feel like LE is as easy to balance as something like League of Legends. Where, like, you still have champions in League of Legends that are, like, 10% win rate higher than they should be, which is massive, right? But you still feel like you're playing the same game, you know? I feel like a lot of the times that something is broken and in Last Epoch, it's just a one interaction in one skill tree that is completely isolated. Very rare you have something broken that just breaks the entire game, or that can be abused in multiple instances, or like, we very rarely have this. Early in the game's development, we had more things like that. For example, you know, like when Ward was just broken and you had 200k Ward or whatever the fuck. That was like a more of a general issue. But I feel like in LE, every time there's something broken, it's like the devs literally forgot to balance one note, you know? That only affects one ability because it's inside of the skill tree or whatever the fuck. Or there is one item that has like some stupid shit that is not capped, or... What the hell? I'm slow, brother. 40% movement speed is not helping my cause. Oh shit. I didn't get what I want though. I think it's better where class has identity or PoE2. I prefer Ellie, personally. I like that when I look at I open up a stream, I know what class the streamer is playing, you know? Just at first glance. I hate this, like... I hate the non-class identity thingy. It's the... but in PoE it's the price of freedom, you know? The more freedom you give the players, the more class identity you lose, because people will just bypass those blockages that are artificially made in the purpose of class identity in the pursuit of power. Right? Like for example, if you could make like a paladin with Reaper form, you would, you know? Why not? But then, you know. You don't like that this is a fast class, this is a empty class? Yeah, but you have that on PoE too. Because the stuff that makes you fast or the stuff that makes you tanky, a lot of the times are tied. That's the only thing that is tied, no? Like you're playing PoE 1, you wanna be tanky, you go champion. No? Those are by the dentist. I would say in LE it's less than in PoE actually. Because in PoE that's the only thing you're picking. In LE you're picking more than that, no? Now you would argue that there's bad balance in Last Epoch, so some classes are just tankier than others because the balance is dog shit. It's not necessarily. It doesn't necessarily have to do with the identity. I mean, PoE 1 is like that too, no? You're playing a fucking build, and then the streamer has two versions. The tanky version is champion, the DPS version is berserker. And they tell you, hey, play the one you like. You know. And they play exactly the same. The difference is the champion has 2045 stacks up here. And that's the only reason you can tell one or the other, or of the other. You can miss in PoE every class go tanky or fast. You could say the same about Last Epoch. Can you not make a mage tankier than anything? Can you not make a... You can. With gear and... That's no difference. You can make a rogue tanky too. AKA Wharton Shadow bullshit. No? I mean... You can make a Sentinel squishy too, if you pick stupid 200 weapons, nodes and stuff like that, no? Class identity. When I talk about class identity, I don't talk about balance. I talk about like I open the stream and I know what class is being played, and I don't have to ask, is this Abyssal Lich or Jhin? You know. And the streamer has a little FAQ telling me what it is because you can't tell at first glance. You know. That's what I mean. Do you think warding Elite is more important compared to Armor of Dodge? No. I would say Armor is the most important out of those. In general. Depends on the class, obviously. Like getting 3k, 4k armor, which is very easy with blessings and stuff, really, really helps every character pretty much, you know. It might not be something that you rush on every class, but you definitely want it. I would agree that LE makes some decisions in the sake of class identity and fantasy that are retarded. Like fucking Forge Guard not being able to get haste because he's using a shield and a tool. You know, that's stupid. But I think that's more of like a EAG bat rather than, you know. It's more EAG bat. This is armor, yeah. Weapon. Need a better weapon. I mean, the visual clutter. The visual clutter on that game on PoE2 doesn't help, honestly, because between the skill BFX, the fact that, well, you can't see shit, and well, I don't know about you, but I'm not super familiar with every skill BFX in the game myself, right? It's just straight up hard to tell what is what. These guys are kind of scary, so... I get some upgrades here, actually. Damage random spikes are most overtuned with everything else. No, Ellie doesn't have a monster problem. I don't think there's monsters that are overtuned. There's monster modifiers that make any monster overtuned. I can't think of any single monster that I go like, holy fuck, that monster is the one that... It's just monster modifiers. Which, by the way, it's even worse in PoE 2. Because you can have more of them stacked on top of each other. Sometimes it's bugs at the beginning of the season, like the poison slugs. People were complaining about the poison slugs. They were just basically ignoring player resistances. But these monsters modifiers, you know, you stack a couple monster modifiers with some map modifiers on top of it, and suddenly the monster is doing 10 times the damage, you know. I'm not a fan of that on neither game, honestly. Like, I'd rather have the game, not even in Diablo 2, honestly, because in Diablo 2, map modifiers are, like, monster modifiers are pretty stupid too. But at least they have the auras, so they're very, very easy to see when... Like, it's very easy to identify if a monster is, like, stupid. Whereas in Ellie, it's virtually impossible. Unfortunately. This is kind of shit, honestly. Craft a bit also.
Yes.
You're 7. Do you believe in miracles? Yes or no? Worse than mine.
Yes.
Somehow that used every fucking affix I had. Pretty good. My stuff is pretty bad. Air decks. It is good. I think we do removal, honestly. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted. Alright. What? Could have slammed, probably. Whatever.
Yes. Take care.
I think I do this, honestly. more needles. Did they say that? That would be pretty good, because the needles are basically the thing locking you off. Like, I would like to be at 200 if corruption right now, but I can't because, well, I need to farm the needles. I'm not as in touch as I used to be, you know, with the devs, honestly. I don't know what they don't pay attention to the Discord or... I just play the game. Oops. Insane damage. Hey. I'll just watch the recap. Hey. Quality YouTube content, you know. Subscribe. Thank God. I have to do it again now. It saves hours. True. I like that stream. It's nice to see Mike excited for his product. Yeah, for sure. It's just like, if you watched a lot of them, a lot of the times it's just like a lot of questions being repeated, a lot of answers being repeated, Mike dodging the same things, justifying stuff that is just not true, and it just gets a bit... I just think if you're a vet, it gets a bit frustrating, honestly. If you know a lot about the game, you realize that they're not super in touch with the things that are problematic, for the vets at least, and that their priorities are not... definitely not us, which I think it leads to, personally to me, it leads a bit to frustration, you know, and they talk about things that I know are straight up, you know. And again, I don't think Mike is in charge of fixing a lot of these complaints that I have, so it's not necessarily on on him, but it makes me think that a lot of the things that I find problematic are basically ignored. You know what I mean?
An eternity of pain. Unchanging.
What's the point of having weekly dev streams? To bridge the gap between the developers and the community and get good PR and you know, look like they're like listening to the community. It's like a PR thing, you know. The same way famous people go sign books, you know. Oh my god, he signed my book, we're so connected, you know. No, he just wants you to buy the next book. You know what I mean?
But what's of yours?
Where is Bina? That's a good question. We're at 200 now. A good question. Yeah, of course, Temash. But when he's asked, do you think balance is good? And he says, yes. You know, that's what pisses us off. I just said a very generic example just so you get the vibe, right? Like, for example, when you have Mike saying that a build doing 1000 corruption is an outlier, and that, you know, not many builds can do that, it's not a good look, you know. I don't think he's doing it maliciously. It's just, you know, if you play this game, you know that the builds that do 1k corruption, like, that's the bare minimum. It's not an outlier. It's like that's what builds do. But we're talking like there's like, I'm pretty sure they're like, sure, you could just like say, oh, my auto attack build can't do it. All right, you know. I mean, I can tell you all the builds we have on max roll can do 1k corruption, right? And we have like, what, 50? So, I mean, a 50 outliers are on Team PoE2. Is the China server still like merged? Are the Asian players still playing with the rest? So I know that was a big problem in the past, but I don't know if they merged them out or what. Is this meant to be? I wanna branch as much as possible. But Taiwan, Korea, and other countries play on the main server. Ah, okay, I see. So there is a bridge there. I see. Open the void. What's up, Master Sword? For example, what was that they said on the dev stream dispatch? They said something along the lines of corruption is meant to make exalted items like more competitive with legendaries or something. And like if you play this game and you follow the meta and you're part of it, like me, right? You know it's gonna have it's gonna have, if anything, it's gonna have the completely opposite effect, right? Because you're gonna have more tries to corrupt legendaries that you will have to corrupt random exalteds, right? You know what? I like the new corruption system. I just don't think it makes exalteds more desirable. It makes them less desirable. Because you can get you can basically get copies and copies and copies of the same legendary with a single LP. Guaranteed, right? And then corrupt for another tier 7 until you hit. So it's the opposite effect, right? The new corruption system makes exalted items less desirable. You know. So, you know, when they say that their intention is to, with this change, is to make them more desirable, you go like, okay, they have they have no idea how we play the game. They have an idea of how we should play it, but a lot of the times, you know, the ideas of the devs and the reality of what players do with it, it's a lot of the times they don't match. And I do think it's the devs' job to keep track of what the players do, analyze, you know. Mike, doing weird. Hello? I was saying that, you know, that the corruption rune makes exalteds less appealing, because you can get the same legendary multiple times. Oh shit! And just craft on it, right? One second, I lost focus with the mic thing. It's like, imagine you go to a restaurant and then the head chef comes out and then tell you, we wanted to make our food more healthy, so we added sugar everywhere. And you're like, healthy. You know? Would you trust the chef with the rest of the menu? I think this is what Bina is kind of trying to imply, basically, you know? When they make arguments that... Well, when they make claims that we know are not how we see the game, it creates like a judgment call of like, are they out of touch, or are they just refusing? What is happening? You know. Or do they even wanna keep people playing? And then you have the entire debacle about imprints, you know, like, people have no fucking idea what they're talking about this game, including myself a lot of the times, you know. People talk and they don't do research, then they do tending, they don't do testing, and then the devs act prematurely on things. Like, for example, I guarantee you, in the current state of imprints, if they buff them in the wrong way, we're gonna have the same problem we had. Like, nothing happened, you know? The imprint system was so fucking OP before that we didn't even use it properly, and we were still, like, printing infinite items. And the problem is, like, they nerfed it, but we were still using it wrong. And if you use it properly, it's super powerful still, you know? Super powerful. And I think the problem with imprints is that they work very unintuitively, so players don't... That's the main issues with imprints. The fact that they're not... They need to be better explained, basically. We were talking about with this someday with weird sins and some other people and stuff. Like the entire tier 8 interaction and like the reroll stuff and like all of that bullshit, like... What they should do is they should make it so the reroll chance and like they should just make it so it's intuitive, basically. So you don't have to make bad items in order to get good items, which is what you do now, right? Which is very unintuitive. So people with imprint items thinking they're good items to imprint and they're actually not. For example, they would imprint an item that has like tier 7, tier 6, tier 6, right? They think, oh my god, I'm gonna get a double tier 7 out of this. Nope. Never. It's not happening. No. They call me Nimis. I've been here since the start. Versatile, reliable, balance. I have one enrage now, looking for the second enrage.
Infinite possibilities.
Dun 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 dun, better corrupt the head. Seductive. Well, that comes from age items and not having goals for the endgame. Should look like, yeah, this is a problem. When you ask them, hey, what DPS are you guys aiming for on builds with like a single tier 7? Or what DHP should a full geared character have, you know? What is the maximum you're happy with? What is the lowest like you will tolerate on an archetype? When they have no answers about that, at least not publicly. And we've been told since, I think I'm pretty sure until now, as far as I know, they have always stated that they don't have, they basically don't balance around numbers at all. They balance around vibes. That's literally the answer we got, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, it's, yeah, sure.
Faint scratches at the surface.
And for example, if they wanted that kind of information, and for example, we at Maxroll have it. It's literally, hey, I mean, if they want it, we can literally, boop, you know, it takes 1 minute. We literally have every Maxroll build with the same level of gear, how much damage they're doing, and how much HP they have. Like, we have this internally, you know? So if they wanted it, they could talk to us, but they also don't. It seems like they also don't wanna, they don't really want help, right? they are the devs and they're the ones doing the game, and they will be the ones fixing the problems. And
The moment comes.
and I get it, you know, they worked hard. I'm sure a lot of them have sacrificed a lot of things in their life to even be in this position, you know. So there's you know, they basically earned the right to do whatever they want. They fuck with their game. But I think they should let their ego aside and just fucking listen to the people who break it every patch, you know? They don't even have to give us credit, just take the information, ignore us, and do something with it. They don't even have to talk to us, but just like take the data, bro. It's free. We offer it. They don't want it. No. They don't care. They know better. I don't know, I think that's a bit... And I've been in conversations with Jad about, like, you know, creating a communication line for balance and helping, like, so many words over the years. Zero action. Because we tried. We definitely tried helping. And again, some devs do get in touch, like individual devs, when there's like a big fuck up. I used to talk quite a bit with Carp. He doesn't really talk to me anymore, or we don't really talk anymore. I talk to Justin a bit sometimes. Justin seems to be, especially with when something is back, he seems to be pretty good with, like, with, you know, with the information that he's given. But that's pretty much all the contact I have with EHG at this point. Sometimes Anna is in the stream on patch day, like kissing Anur. And she seems to be looking for bugs and stuff when she comes into my stream, and she actually goes and fixes some stuff. But aside from these three, I'm pretty sure... Yeah, nothing. This romance. Would I live with someone like that? Is there a reason for corruption to not have a capped? They like the illusion of infinite chase. The same way the items are not capped. Well, not everyone. I know Mike doesn't like it, for example. And I know this because I have talked with him in person about it. I know the studio is split around corruption, like being infinite and all that. And the same with LP being infinite, uncapped. And they've been hinting at changes on that. And so I think we're gonna see changes on that personally, with the corruption tiers and the... After, you know, 4 years later, they will listen, you know?
The cracks are spreading.
I also think they made some very, very stupid, like, marketing mistakes. Like fucking, oh yeah, let's make the Warlock reveal on Actions RPG YouTube channel, you know? Oh, like, what the fuck was that, brother? And again, Aaron is not at fault here. Like, he took the opportunity, you know, I would have done the same. It's like, what are they thinking? You know, he was probably fucking pogging the fuck out. It's not his fault. So this is not hate against him, but it's just like, bro. What the fuck was that? I mean, good for him. He probably, you know. Was that good for the game, though? Eh. They'll call me Nihilus. Player count doesn't really matter at the moment. All the people who owned the league could log in again, you know. It's not like they didn't like the game when they played it, you know. They just thought, you know, I'm gonna wait for the next thing. I could very, very, very easily see people logging back, like, they all bought the game, you know. They have it, like, logging in doesn't take anything. And you're gonna have the console release and all that bullshit. Player count... Player counts in these games don't really, you know, it could go up again. It doesn't cost anything, right? But the thing is, like, most people who played the game don't even get to Empowered Monolith, and all the changes they've done to Monolith are basically affect post-Empowered, right? Realistically. So if you're someone who's never even got to Empowered, why would you log back in, you know? Aaron was giving some good marketing advice, but I mean, Aaron is pretty fucking good at marketing. I mean, it's, let me tell you something. I think Aaron is way better at marketing than EAG. You know, I can tell you that much. If he's good at something, that's it. You know, you might not, like, you know, click with it, but you can't deny that he's built a brand from himself. You know, he has a pretty big community, like, you know. It has a reputation of being buggy and having poor balance. Most of my friends have unlocked since 1.0. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And for example, in PoE, like PoE 2 currently is giga buggy too. The difference is, like, the depths are super fast acting. So even though the game is bugged, the illusion or the perception is that it won't be, right? Because of how, you know, the manpower that GGG has and how efficient they are, and they're just a fucking great studio, you know. They proved that over years. Regardless of what you think about the game, regardless of what you think about Jonathan, regardless, they're efficient as fuck, right? Yeah, I don't think that's arguable. So people are willing to, you know, people are willing to deal with the bugs for a bit because they know they will get fixed, right? Because they believe in the studio. And a lot of the bugs are not really affecting casuals who don't even finish the campaign, right? Like, oh, my Abyss progress is bugged. Bro, I guarantee you 90% of the player base are still in the campaign. Like, playing 20 minutes a day after work, you know? But there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. There are more users? Yeah, but I mean, I did use a percentage because of that, right? It's the percentage is the same though. Like, if you have you have X amount of users per X amount of casuals, you know, in this kind of games. PoE2 is also in console, right? I'm pretty sure there's people who play in console. That's a... I think they have like a third of the player base is on console or something like that. Actually pretty big. For how niche of a game it is and how, like, you know. Am I correct about this? I think I'm correct about this, but I don't know what the numbers, if the numbers are up to date or... Regarding imprints, that they are interested in making it, so I have this thing, I'm making imprints drop. More of that thing is something we're interested in doing. I mean, that's what they are right now, you know. They just work very unintuitively. But, I mean, that's what they are. No? I had so many bugs in PoE2. Like, for example, I had a bug where I found like a 10... What is it called? Like a 10 rune or whatever the fuck. Wow. I knew that could kill me, but... Wow. That's a lot of damage. I thought I would kill him. No block, man. If I blocked, I live. 80% block. No sigils now. What? Clip? Didn't see. I died to one of the bot guys. It's fine. Runes of Aldur. Yeah, I had a Runes of Aldur altar thingy that basically I went and did it. I needed it. I needed the reward. And then one of the fucking mobs spawned it. Was that hardcore? Yeah, I only play hardcore. One of the mobs was outside of the minimap, right? So I couldn't finish it. On some mobs that, like, you know, spawned out of reach, out of the map. I couldn't finish it. I had that happen on so many things, like so many things. Like I'm doing a mechanic and something spawns outside of the map and I don't get the reward or I don't get the... I cannot finish the thing and so much. Clip. It's fine. I didn't like what I was doing. Because right now what I'm doing... Because I'm too weak to be doing this. I'll show the clip, Bina, if you want to see it. I call damage and call resist. Oh, of course it killed me. 1 second, 1 second. Do you guys see it? Do you guys see it? Fuck. I knew I could lift that. This fucking thing killed me. Classic double damage, you know. I'm so glad that it is very clear that that mob does double damage. And he does have another increased damage here, but... Oh, man. I killed him, man. I got greedy there. But obviously, it only killed me because increased damage, right? I got greedy there. But basically, what I'm doing now is I do campaign in 140. I do empowered. in 340, 345. Depends on RNG. 345. And then I get to what I've been doing. Then you have two options. Which Orbis points am I doing? That's crazy fast? Yeah, I'm really fast. The problem is, like, now here you have two options. Yeah, but I don't like doing that, because then you are weaker. Like, I tried it, and if you do that, you're too weak to do like you're slowed down. Like, the time you gain from doing that, you lose by slowing down. Because now what I'm doing right now is I'm going rushing 200C, rushing the XP blessing on which I didn't get this run on normal. Rush the XP blessing, and then setting up my double enrage. Right? Double enrage. And then I just go for Rune Prison Complex, right? But the thing is, like, this, I'm kind of weak. Because I'm pushing straight up. And I think basically I shouldn't do this. I think what I should do is I should do 100C. Save, do the XP blessing. Right? And then I should do farm up to 8. What is it called? Orbis Eyes or whatever the fuck. Right? Cases. And while I'm doing that, at 100 corruption, I look for Rune Prison Complex. The problem with this is that once you do this, once you go to 200 corruption, you could get fucked in this process. The double enrage process. But it's safer to do this, and you might not get as much. I don't know. I'm gonna try it this way now. I think double enrage is like 15-20 minutes. Yeah, but annoying. Because if I save, if I just stay 100 corruption and I get 8 gazes, it means that then I can get first shade I do, boom, first shade I do, boom, and I'm at 200 now. With 8 gazes, straight up. If I spend 4 and 4. And then I stay at 100 corruption because the RPC drop rate doesn't scale, right? It's flat, 3% at 100C, and I don't think it scales. I think it doesn't scale. %. Imprint spawn chance with members of the server. Up to 2%, it's 2% chance. Yeah, but it caps at 100 corruption. That's the thing. 100 corruption. 100 corruption is the cap. I'm pretty sure. Training dummy. It's pretty good. Press begin. Oh. This was 348. $348.40. Empowered. I did the regulars. I did I think it's 215 abomination I normally do. 220. I've done it in 215. Abomination. Well, that was abomination. Into Raya at 230 something. There goes Raya. The Raya is 240. Then I do Lagon at 3-3, I think. Lagon at 3-3, 3-4. Then I do Dragon at 324. And then I do this one at 348. So I do the regular timelines. Bina. $157. I am getting better though, so my times are naturally getting better. Okay, pretty good. Shall I do one more try, just to try this thing? New class. I need to do filter though. Don't know about God Gamer, that's my title. Oh shit, I'm sorry. I apologize. Turbo motherfucking Pina! Here we go! Oh, Pina, 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 Pina. What to do? Do we do marksman? I'm feeling a bit stiff, but we go rogue. I don't want to get back to Acolyte, honestly, but I don't have a filter at all. It's gonna take me 2 hours to set it up and to plan what to do. I feel like I'm gonna skip that. Look at this. Bina, Bina, Bina.
In the beginning,
In the
there
beginning.
was darkness. Only terror, myself.
Boom.
I've never been this far from the slums. No looking back now. Time to leave Majelka behind me.
I think that's the filter. Short bow. Giga. Oh, blood puncture, yeah. Bastard sword. Log in.
When you arrive, they were like, "What are you good? Name, I will come. Let me watch
The
you fight."
world of Eterra opens. It opens. The tombs.
Smoke.
Go by. Mina! Too many options.
So much destruction.
Omnis, Nihilus, Exulis. Who should I pick?
Where'd you learn to fight?
Dun, dun, dun. Is it a reliable balance? Wouldn't you find someone like that? Oh! That was my butt.
Well done. We're almost there. I'll see you ahead.
It's gonna be. Tell me, Bina. Ooh, the keys. Normally on my R. Bina, Bina, Bina. Hands on this romance. Strophe seductive, seductive. One like that. Bina, Bina. Oh. They have announced the PA1 event and it's shit. Hey. Who knows? Maybe it's goaded, no? Could be goaded when you actually play it, no? Bina, Bina, Bina. I promise you. To the skills. Bina, Bina, Bina. Who's who it gonna be? Tell me, Bina. I forgot. It jumped backwards. Hey. I missed. Okay, I forgot, okay. Bina. The raw dog run. Raw dog. Bina. Bina. Bina.
That was close.
What amulet should I use? Too many options. Omnis, Nihilus, Exulis. Who should I pick? Doo-doo-doon. Is it unreliable, balanced? Kiss you, new love every part. Ask one choice, gotta be.
To help protect the son of Drake. Tread carefully.
But first, no, that's what you wanted. Well, tell you what. Let's get out of here first, and then I'll explain more. These beastalks are hardly worth it if you don't know why Orion is after us.
Say for brave Bina, who will fuck with you for life? You better corrupt it. You better corrupt it. Be now, be now, be now.
I'm sure you have questions.
3 hearts, 1 choice.
Epoch safe.
Better corrupt it. Do 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 do.
No.
Be now. What's up, Amity? And remember, PoE2 is better anyway. The poisonous. Again. What amulet should I use? Too many options. Giga Quiver? Giga. Whoop! Bina! Bina, I'll kiss you.
Terra's grace be with you. Terra's grace be with you.
I look like Ant-Man. No?
You're here for the epoch. Reaching me was
One like
impressive,
that.
but it's mine. Co-member wing.
You better corrupt it. I get it now, right? 2 points, I get Bladestorm now. It opens. I got my skill point now.
been...
You're back now. Lena, I'm so sorry to you too.
Ahora me lo to la juice. Nihilus. Exolis. Who should I pick?
What is this place? I don't seem to have gone far, but everything looks so different.
Did you see the test, Bramilis? I did not. What does it do? It's gonna be as good as the ones they added this patch for Primalist? Or... just visuals? Enough. Enough, Pina.
Yes? God be with you.
Really want to level here. Because I want to get Blade Storm. I was ready to throw it away.
Gods be with you. Farewell.
Twin attack speed. Fucking hell. Oh, I lost my buff.
What brings you here? Terra's grace be with you.
Hello, can you say about Lightning Lure Master? Is it good for first character? Yeah, it's fine. You need the unique to really pop off, but it's not hard to get. A very strong build. It's good to learn the game, I would say. It's very simple build too. Very easy to gear, to stack intelligence. You will learn how to use your defensive tools early with the Flame Ward. It's good. It's good build. Very good build. Good to learn the game. Very cookie cutter. And it can do everything in the game, you know. So
Keep them off me.
try to get the catalyst, the first item. Your first build was self-cook static or blinding blast. My first build was physical hit, spinning, hammer throw. Hey.
Only a little longer.
Not the best.
Go on. I'll be right behind you.
A mighty sword!
Actual static? Oh shit.
I see.
Oh no.
Now I
Il cazzo enorme.
gods have long left this
Il
world,
cazzo
but their memory will
molto enorme do mundo. Oh, what's up, Serketti? Thanks for the rate. Colossal. Triunfante. Ah, il cazzo gigante. Play LE, cazzo gigante. Play PoE, cazzo piccolo. È la pura verità. È la verità. Io non sono un vaffanculo. Io parlo la verità. Il giocatore The Last Epoch è un ragazzo grande, cazzo, colossal. Il giocatore della PoE, cazzo piccolo, figa. There you go. That's my Italian. Thank you, everyone. Welcome. I know it's hard to believe, but I'm actually not Italian. I'm Spanish. I know it's hard to believe, but yeah, it's true. No way. I know, guys. Hard to believe. Io sono un poliglota. Capito?
What?
Do you understand?
companion. I please stop him.
You sound like pizza? Pizza. Io sono un amante della pizza, La pizza... l'autentica, la de verità, La pizza di Napoli. Why you? Why you? From all the champions. Guys, he's tankier than the boss. Like, I can't do anything. Might as well kill him, no? Maybe he gives me something. Oh my god, Primalist helmet. What? Are they gonna give us a new season of LA before GTA 6? No.
Infinite possible.
No. You are, we are not getting any update forever. Unless you give EHG $9.99 every month. Capito? This game needs something with fork on chain. Javelin, brother. And a hammer throw now. Shield throw, sorry. Actually, hammer throw also has chain, but yeah.
Easy. Too easy.
You don't like it? You don't like detonating arrow, Potato? How come? It's the most popular ability. Am I missing every auto attack or what? Don't when you become a marksman, don't you feel immediately like grabbing detonate arrow? Is that what you're saying? You don't feel like it? What? You must be joking, no? Might as well. He teleported. OP. Sentinel? Sentinel? What is this, man? multi shot. The ultimate marksman fantasy.
Stay back.
Dude, I forgot. What do I do here? Go here.
What a shame. But what's done is done.
Boom.
This is not what I was expecting.
Wow. Wow. I'm gaming.
Take care.
I wonder how that unlocks in comparison.
Then close your eye. We will meet again.
It's alright. Kind of forgot what I do here, honestly.
Why?
I don't think it will matter that much.
There is an old passage to the surface.
Attack speed.
He remembers you.
That was close. Easy.
The cultists had a philosophy.
Would I believe EAGs? We want to be able to fix
transcend.
Ellie. The fine fix. Fix what? Such a loaded question. And if fixes the game will be what I want it to be, no. But I made peace with that. It's gonna make people play for longer. Yeah, I think so. And I think a lot of the people who own the game haven't even experienced the new stuff, right? So I think whoever decides to log in will play for longer, yeah. What do you want then? I want it to be balanced, old school, and progression based. And I want that to matter. I want progression to matter. I want hard blockages of difficulty. I want friction. When it comes to progression, I want to feel like my character cannot continue. I want the retarded builds that one-shot bosses to be removed from the game. To the point where, like, power has to be earned and it's not free. I want an utopia, basically. I want something that will never happen. That's fine, I'm with peace with that. I mean, I obviously love the game, right? I still play it. Over something like PoE 2, for example. What? I clicked. Pretty sure I clicked before. We all want an utopia? Yeah. But those would be my priorities, you know, on the utopia. I want to be able to move while my panels are open. That's my #1 priority, actually. If that was in the game, my enjoyment would go up by twice. That's a personal thing. Like being able to, you know, spec my abilities while moving. That would double my enjoyment. Especially now that I'm speedrunning and stuff. It's funny how, like, I think it's completely shit what they've done to the UI, like, to the point where I wanted to quit the game over it. And it's curious how, like, humans just get used to shit, you know? I completely hate it, and I haven't even think about it in a while. Because, you know, humans are just, well, interesting. I still fucking hate it, I still think it's absolute dog shit, but I got so used to the shit that, I don't get mad over it anymore, I just eat the shit, you know? And I don't complain. I say, delicious. You know what I mean? How is Puncture Ballista? Funny enough, I normally do Ballista. Because it blocks projectiles, so I have Ballista in my bar here. Before, I use it on the first boss. I forgot, honestly, because I do so much damage that it's not important at all. Wasn't that already in the game and they removed it? Yeah. that was in the game, and they decided it was better to make the game worst. And when I asked Mike about it on the dev stream, well, not just me, but many people, he answered, "I don't know why a person would like to like move while interacting with panels." That's what the answer. Like, why would you want to do that?
Easy. Too easy.
You have it now. I recommend you stand back. Tearing the phylactery from my body may prove volatile.
They should put Planner into game, but that would ruin Discovery. Grumpy. I don't know if you know this, but EAG doesn't believe in... You know, they don't believe in that, you know.
Farewell.
You know, like a game like PoE adds that into the game for accessibility, and so anyone can follow builds and enjoy the game. In LE, no builds. No. Gotta kick all content creators, you know, also from City and giving feedback, because Discovery, you know. People like doing their own builds. We don't want to ruin it for them. Of course. Max Robot. Based. Are the bits up to date? Yes, everything is up to date. Everything is always up to date, by the way. There hasn't been a patch or anything in months. Maxwell is killing Glass Tipok. Oh shit. Actually, if Maxwell didn't exist, guys, PoE would be beating... Ellie would be beating PoE right now. His response show how frustrated they are. I mean, what we always say, right? Marksman is up to date? Yeah, Marksman is up to date. We're missing one build on Marksman. Well, it's not Marksman, it's Falconeer, but... We're missing Explosive Ballista. It uses a bow, so... But, I just think regular Ballista is better, but... The Chinese like the explosion better for... It's slightly faster, I guess. Well, you can pre-plan without following external. You can... So, to lose gravity. No, but because that would mean you have a personality, Grumpy. And that is something. That's something we don't have. Explosive is kind of meh. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think regular is way better, but I don't know. The Chinese love the fucking explosive one. I don't know. They just love it.
The Temple of Eterra. Or at least it used to be. I doubt anything valuable is left. Easy. Too easy.
Aiming. Their vengeance. Oh, come on. Nerf motherfucking vengeance. I wonder how they're gonna nerf recall. Listen to me. Potato, listen to me. Umbral blades now have a 1% chance to leave a blade on the floor. Solved. Thoughts? No cap. We just make it only proc 1%. Okay, 5%. Players don't like caps, okay? Like, we got the feedback, they don't like caps. So instead, we're gonna make it proc 1% of the time. Uncapped. Thoughts? It worked with Acid Flask, you know? It worked. Successful nerf. That build is definitely being played now.
Reflections.
1%, brother? Where's the issue? Where is the issue? Ooh, I was about to be happy. How the fuck am I level 23? Yeah, hardcore don't even... I mean, if the game runs properly, a lot of the hardcore bug death related deaths will be gone, right? Thank you. How long till the next Ellie Lake? Nobody knows. But we're guessing early September, hopefully. Late. I think it's looking like early September based on timings of things, but could be anything, honestly. Could be anything.
Take care.
Boom. I'm usually 20 here. Yeah, I don't know. I killed a lot.
Seek out.
What do you think, Ali, biggest issue? People most complain about feel of fighting, sound, graphic, character from this. I think sound is bad when it comes to the quality of the game. I think the combat is really good in Ellie. It's floaty, but it's responsive. Because basically, if you a lot of the games that have like meaningful combat, they also have clunky combat. For example, I found PoE 2 completely clunky. I lose control of my character all the fucking time. Like, my character is stuck on some stupid ass animation. I walk against terrain. But the sound effects sell it, and the BFX sell it. But the actual moment-to-moment combat, you pressing your buttons, I think it's way, way inferior. Especially in endgame. In Ellie, the animations are dog shit, but they're very fast and basically weightless, but you get very, very, very fast responsive gameplay in exchange. And as a preference, this is completely subjective, I prefer it. Like, I would rather have a game with no animations and no effects. Like, every ability is just a red circle. That's it. Every ability is just a red circle or a red line or a red arrow or a red auto attack. Like, everything is just red. I would rather have that is like meaningful and I can react to it and it's like super well telegraphed than a game that has like the most beautiful BFX and I cannot tell what the fuck is going on. Like, if I had to pick between a game with, again, the best BFX in the world and the worst BFX in the world, I would choose the one with the worst BFX in the world just for the sake of clarity. If I could turn off my game into red circles and turn off all BFX, I would. That's how little I care about that. I would probably have them on a first playthrough to experience the, you know, like the more like an immersive playthrough, and after that I would turn it off and just like focus on gameplay. And like, this character feels better to play than any PoE character I played, and he's like level 20. And like the feeling of like, have you played fucking like Lightning Arrow or one of the fucking Rangers on PoE 1, where you're like fucking WSDing, fucking moving, slowing, like your movement speed goes up, goes down, like it just you slow down when you shoot and then you accelerate when you don't shoot. Like, oh my god. You don't really kite because you're always on the move. Like, it's I personally don't like it, but it's, if you love it, then well, play that game. It's subjective. And I understand in PoE, it is kind of intended for you to feel bad early, So it feels good once you get gear and you get power. But I feel like even with gear and power, it feels dog shit to me. In PoE 2, yeah. In PoE 1, no, but PoE 1, it also feels dog shit to me. Because the PoE 1 is the opposite, it's like so fast where you don't even know what's going on. Like, you cannot even tell how many times you attacked. But I was talking about PoE 2 when it comes to the clunkiness. The base, but you go make a character in the beach and you kite Hillock. Just kiting Hillock feels worse than kiting at level 1 with Ellie, in my opinion. Like, your character is just like all the animation cancelling and all that. It's just, I don't know, I find it pretty clunky and pretty unresponsive. My personal opinion, obviously. Robots PoE 1 build, and I still like it more in Ellie because of the responsiveness. We'll see what they do on. I'm honestly, like, I feel like a lot of the systems in PoE and the progression, I actually think it's pretty good. But I haven't really found a build that I enjoy playing, and I played pretty much every archetype now except minions, which looks, I'm pretty sure. I mean, minions in PoE 2, there's no gameplay, straight up, right? It's even worse than Ellie. In Ellie, at least you have to interact with some stuff and press some buffs and shit. Like, I've seen people playing this monkey build bullshit. Like, what the fuck? I don't know, maybe there's more stuff that I haven't... But gameplay-wise, looks super flaccid. And I haven't played spellcasters, which look even more flaccid to me. So I'm really hoping on swords and axes, honestly. That might save that game for me. Because if those are good, it might actually be what makes me enjoy that game. Because, I might just be a Cyclone main. If Ellie isn't, yeah, Ellie is my favorite. Oh, I really like Diablo 2. But I don't really play it anymore. And for example, Diablo 2 has dogshit gameplay. You know, basically it doesn't really have gameplay. But I really like the progression and this feeling of finishing a character and the breakpoints system and everything and the caps and I don't know. I think gearing a... Even though I've done it a million times, gearing up a character in Diablo 2, somehow it feels the best out of any game. Like how they balanced like grinding versus deterministic things versus like super rare oh shit moments versus like time invested. To me, I know a lot of people don't like the repetition aspect of it, but I personally kind of don't mind it. Like ARPGs in nature are kind of repetitive, and this modern ARPG thing of like basically adding a bunch of like mechanics or whatever to break the illusion of repetition. At the end of the day, you're playing PoE 2. I've said this before. You're playing PoE 2. Bro, what is the difference between Ritual, Abyss, and whatever the fuck? Bro, it's a red circle versus a green circle. Green mobs versus red mobs. Like, bro, you're just killing monsters. It doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter. Like, if you think doing a Ritual versus doing an Abyss is not repetitive, when it comes to gameplay, like, I don't know. You've been brainwashed or something. For me, The gameplay is exactly the same. I'm doing circles, killing monsters. That's the same on every RPG. The strat changes. I don't care about the strat at all, actually. I don't care about the strat in LE either. I don't care about what the best Weaver tree is. I just found out what it is and I put the points and I forget about it. Like, a lot of the out-of-combat things that PoE offers, which I know are really cool, I don't give a fuck. People care? Yeah, I'm talking about me. I know people care. I'm saying gameplay-wise, I don't give a fuck. I'm killing monsters and that's all that matters to me. Like, me interacting with a tablet to give myself and the Atlas, oh, I'm gonna make it a water biome, so my water biome spawns more spirits. So I have 10 spirits in... Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Not only I don't care, I find it tedious, I find it boring, I find it over-complex for no reason, I find it bloated. If I could click a bottom that said, best strategy possible, boop, and I could do that, I would. I don't give a fuck about the behind-the-scenes thing, because at the end of the day, if you're following up a guide of a guy telling you, hey, you should do this, this, and this, it's basically the equivalent of pressing a button that says, this is the best strat with extra steps. So it's not, you know... And at the end of the day, I tend to metagame. I like metagaming. I like doing what's efficient. So, to me, it makes no difference. To me, when I open up the Atlas, and I say, oh, there's so many choices. Well, there's no choices. There's the right choice. Boom. And the same for the Weaver tree, and the same for... it's illusion of choice, if you ask me. And I understand the people who are smart enough and know enough about the game figuring out what the best thing is. Or if you're playing blind, that could be entertaining if that's what you're into. But for me, I don't care. Same, to be honest, I'm a bit of the same with builds making. Like, the only reason I got into builds is not because I enjoyed making builds, it's because if I didn't do, like, nobody was doing them, so all the builds were shit. So I had to start making my own builds, because in this game, nobody was making good builds, so I basically had to. Because I started very, very early, right? Nobody knew what they were doing, like, back in beta. But if I started playing this game right now, I would have just... I would have made the first playthrough blind, and then I would have copied whatever. I don't actually... Like, when you look at the skill tree, like, okay, you see the skill tree and you go, oh, but this is better than this, and this is better than that. At the end of the day, the choices are already made, you know? Like, you like, clicking... There is an obvious correct choice, and that's the only choice. So, even though I'm a build maker now, I actually... I don't give two shits about build making. I think it's completely overrated, and I think figuring out this puzzle, like the items, it's way more engaging and way more fun than the skills themselves, and the skill trees are boring as fuck. They're always very, very obvious. They're not obvious if you're a noob, and then you have the illusion of choice becomes the discovery of choice, which I can see that being entertaining, right? But, I don't know, I think it's overrated. And again, going back to Diablo 2, like, when I played Diablo 2, I never, ever made my own build, ever, right? Maybe when I was 12 years old and I made a Necromancer, and I put every point into skeletons, like, for the first 40 levels, right? But for example, I played that game for like years and years and years, and never made a build, never theory crafted anything, and the only thing, and I still had fun. So the entire thing about RPGs being about making your own build, it's kind of like a new thing, really. Like in Diablo 2, people played that game for 20 years, same builds, same strategies, same farming spots, nothing changed. Still fun. And to me, at least. Because the progression is fun. The actual clicking lining Fury over lining whatever the fuck, like... D2 has a lot of builds, though. I mean, it has way less builds than LE, for example. Especially good ones. And there's zero discovery on that game.
Hurry and break the I'll take that as a yes.
And you go on the skill tree, you go lining, whatever, and then you press on all the synergies, and that's it. And you get +1 charms on every build. Like, I don't know.
Well, that was
You can play some optimal. It doesn't matter.
kind of refreshing.
That argument can be applied to any game
Now,
of any
where
genre.
are we?
My point is, people don't play PoE. People don't play Diablo for the build making. Yet still considered the best ARPG of all time, you know, by a lot of people. So if that's the case, then I think my point of like build making and like theory crafting and finding out what blah 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 blah, not being like a core thing to have fun in an ARPG, it's basically pretty valid. Right? Love build making, LA? Yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying that it's not what makes the game good. In my opinion. It's not what makes ARPGs good. You can have an... If Diablo 2, right, had like characters that you're basically, as you level, the points are automatically assigned to the skill tree, people would play it exactly the same. Pretty much. Because that's not why they play. Like, going lining and pressing all the lining squares, it's not engaged. It doesn't add anything, really. I love it when you were theory crafting out level 8. Yeah, but it's not really theory crafting. It's opening up the thing, reading what's OP and doing it. Like, theory crafting is a very... I don't know, such a... such a weird word. And again, I do it, right, because I have to. But I don't really see any value. I don't really get joy out of it. Min-maxing, I have way more fun. Like, items. Min-maxing items, to me, is way more fun than actually coming up with the skills, the interactions, and blah, blah, blah. Because, for example, on items, there's a lot of tangibles that you actually don't have... what do you call it? You cannot just put on a spreadsheet, right? For example, as long as you level to level 100, you will always have the 100 points, right? No matter what. And getting to level 100 is not a hard thing to do. But for example, with items, it also comes... You have to consider things like scarcity, like rarity, like, you know... how long it takes to get something. So it actually takes way more knowledge and way more... I think it's way harder and way more interesting to figure out that stuff. Like, opening up a skill and clicking more damage... to me, it doesn't add anything to my experience in LE. So what is the point of LE skill trees? Is the point of selling the illusion of choice and creating an identity so you feel attached to your character. But, I mean, once you have your skill tree, you never touch it again, right? It's illusion of choice. And not only that, but the devs have... I mean, devs talk about this openly, not just LE devs. That not all nodes are made powerful. The only reason you have bad nodes is so you can identify the strong nodes. Like, this is done intentionally, right? Like, they make bad nodes, so the good nodes are like, oh, this looks good. It's like intentional.
That's buried in the slums.
I could research using build archetype and then just play a progress there from here. Or point considering a low rails for all build guides. That's exactly what I'm saying. In fact, in PoE 2, that's actually what it is, because you can implement that into the... with a build archive, with a build file thing, you know? That, like, if you download a build file on PoE 2, aren't you just doing that? You're picking up an archetype and you're literally, like, auto... make, like... That's, yeah. I would argue that. That's pretty good. There goes my concentration.
Three. When she told me it'd take the courage of a ruby to get.
Like the thing that is most important about every RPG is not combat, and we know that because Diablo 2 basically has no combat, right? It's not class build creation or min-maxing or strategies or any of that. Again, Diablo 2 doesn't have that. It's gear progression. Gear chase and gear progression. And I'm not the one saying this, like fucking David Brevik, who invented Diablo, fucking says that, right? These games are about the items. And the main issue we have in LE is that the items... I mean, look at this character that I'm playing, right? Like, I'm wearing my level 1 bow or whatever the fuck I got on Act 2. Like, and I'm just destroying the game. Items don't matter, right? I'm way too powerful for no reason. Poor balance, right? And not only that, but the curve of rarity versus difficulty to acquire versus ceiling of items is very, very poorly made in this game. Because they are scared of making it inaccessible. Right? They don't want they don't want to scare off players with like, oh, this is a grindy game, you know, you need to work for your items. But if you don't work for your items don't matter. No, not just that, everything in life. If you achieve anything in life that is easy to do, you will never really feel anything, right? Like if you go into a race and you win because nobody else is racing and you get a medal, are you really gonna feel anything versus like you training for like fucking 3 months, blah blah blah, and then actually beating other competitors that trained as hard as you? It's just human psychology, you know? And I think in modern gaming and in the modern world in general, a lot of developers and a lot of like product people and a lot of like TV, media, everything. A lot of people are really scared of creating struggle and friction, you know. You're playing a strong optimal build, that's what you're... Yeah, but do that on Diablo 2. Do that on Diablo 2. Going to hell without your spirit crafting and your like you can argue with that with all of these games, right? Like sure, in any game or even in PoE, like go into PoE and in PoE 1 and follow like a build guide, but just walk around with level 1 gear. Let's see what happens, you know. Like you should have some power out of your passives and your progression, level progression. But the main source of power should be your items. Okay, I'll give you an example. I'm using this puncture bullshit, yeah? Puncture bullshit, I get 6 stacks of this puncture. 6 stacks, yeah? Each of these things on puncture is giving me 60% bleed chance. 60% bleed chance, I get 6 stacks. This is global. 60% bleed. You know how hard it is to get 60% bleed on a character? If I wanted to get 60% bleed chance on a bow, right? Bro, I have a tier 1. It's 11% bleed. A tier 1. I'm getting 6 times 60 for free. So, you either keep these numbers and you make it so the item is giving me more than 60, right? From all my bleed chance that I have, right? Which is all my damage. All of it is coming for free. All of it. All of it. right? I don't even know what to say, you know? I don't know if I like this. Yeah, I prefer that one. In PoE, for example, this process of selecting the right optimal thing gets very obscured because instead of everything being located in this panel, in PoE, this would be scattered across the passive tree, the gems, the supports, right? All of this would be exactly the same amount of choices, but all of these choices would be completely scattered, right, across places that are not as intuitive. In LE, because everything is located on the thing, you basically that time you spend on PoB looking for things, it's done for you by the devs, right? You don't have as many options, therefore the process of picking what's good takes. There's way less competition, right? So there's like there's no nuisance like there is in PoE. But the result is the same. There is one choice and it's the right choice. You know? Like, if you look at the PoE skill tree, it looks, oh my god, there's so many points. Yeah, at the end of the day, there's only 100 points that matter, which are the ones you take, right? So, the process of finding out what those 100 are, to me, is like a necessary thing that you have to do and you have to engage, but I personally don't really care too much. I understand if people do, but I personally don't care about it. And I am aware that I don't have the knowledge to make judgment calls on it. And because I'm not super interested in it, I'm not gonna put the time needed to learn, right? Because that's the thing, in order to make these choices and to enjoy this process, if you enjoy it, you actually need enough knowledge to participate on it. Because if you don't know anything, well, you know, if I go into Harvard and I go into a math exam and I don't know anything about math, I'm sure the exam is super engaging for someone who like knows, you know, can engage with the answers and knows the formulas and everything. But if you don't know anything, well, it's probably, I mean, you're just staring at a paper and doing nothing, right? And I could go to Harvard and study math for 10 years, so then I can do the exam. But I don't actually care, so I don't go to Harvard, I don't go to exam, and I stay in my room doing nothing. Obviously, tools make these things faster, but the process is still the same. Felipe got. Like, the process is the same with or without PoB. PoB just made it easier, but the process was the same. With or without PoB, there is 100 nodes that are better than the other 100 nodes. Period. Right? I also think people really, really like, what is it called? They like talking about these things on like a very grandiose kind of vibe. Like, for example, people would be like, I don't know, people would find out, okay, there's a new ability for Acolyte. It's called Flay. Hey, Flay has a node that makes you do a fucking shit ton of damage if you stack mana. Guys, I will stack mana with Flay. I am a theory crafting genius, you know? People like to give themselves accolades for just reading, like, or being the first to read something. Like, bro,
The Emperor.
if two players who haven't talked to each other and they know the same about the game look at the fucking skill tree, they will pick the same notes. It's not that deep. And again, the only thing that is nuance, I think, when it comes to making builds or whatever, especially making builds because they're meant to be followed, is actually figuring out the progression. I think that's the true value of... That's what I enjoy kind of focusing on. Like, okay, we know what the end goal is, we know what the good notes are. Okay, and we know what the best items here, but okay, what do I do in order to get there? I think that's way more nuisance, right? Because obviously there's RNG, right? Because, like, for example, every player at level 60 will have the same exact passives, you know? At level 60, everyone has the same passives, because you're level 60. But at level 60, not everyone has the same gear. So min-maxing around, okay, what on average, what kind of power am I gonna get from items at level 60? That is way, way harder to determine and to, like, vibe, you know, than being level 60. Wow. That had to be a crit, no? Hit me for 400. Well, I have to go anyway. That's kind of ranty for YouTube. Dude, what the fuck? That's kind of... that video was pretty ranty for YouTube anyway. For sure I got crit, no? What's with this quality? I was pretty tanky too. I had Fist Res and everything. Oh! Huh. I wonder. I wonder what it was. Once again, you know. Great visual indicator to let me know, you know. Fucking hell. Okay, I mean, that's pretty unlucky. It's too deadly? Too deadly? Are you fucking kidding me? No, it's rampant and deadly. They both have damage mods. This one is deadly, increased attack speed, and the other one is rampant. And he is rampant, as you can see, because he's bigger than the other one. And they both hit me. 382 with the deadly, and 200 with the rampant. Rampant is 30% more damage, deadly is 100% more damage. So that guy did double damage, the other one did 30% damage. I mean, hey, if we're gonna get RNG like this, it's better to have that on a practice run, you know what I'm saying? But see, for example, this is kind of shit, right? And again, PoE has these same problems too. Like, you're taking no damage, you're taking no damage, you're taking the no damage, and then some fucking monster that has 3 Arch Nemesis mobs one-shots you, right? Because it has armor break, and you're playing an armor build or something stupid, right? Like, bro, these guys should be red. They should literally be red. Which, by the way... Which, by the way, this is something that was solved 20 years ago, you know? Oh, shit. Holy fuck, what is happening? Look at this, see? 20 years ago, hey, can you tell which one is the dangerous one? Guys. Guys, which one is the dangerous one? Of this skeleton, of these guys, who's the dangerous one? Okay, who thinks it's this one? Who thinks it's this one? Anyone? Okay, who thinks it's this one? Okay? Okay, guys, now it's gonna be hard. Who thinks it's this one? Hmm? And it's funny because in Diablo, it's been like this for like years, you know? Like again. And somehow we didn't learn the lesson or something. And I'm not even asking about animations, bro. Give it like a little aura. Look at this. Guys. You know, give it a little fucking aura. Look at him. You see, this guy's dangerous. You see? He is dangerous. Undead cursed aura. Enhanced extra strong. And you see? Why did we fix this 20 years ago? And we... Bro, literally make him red. Like, he actually hit me for fucking 400. Oh. Increased attack speed too. That's another thing too, the animation's not matching. Let's see if this makes any sense. Okay, watching? Are you guys watching? Let's see if the hitbox... Let's see if there's a developer who has taken the time to match the increased attack speed mode with the animation. Let's see. Okay, we see the both mobs. Okay, the one with attack speed is jumping faster, as you can see. Okay. Slight delay. It wasn't that bad. Oh man, fuck me in the ass. What do I do with this guy, actually? New song. This is gonna be... Guys, get ready to get your brain exploded, okay? It's 8 minutes been... Okay. What do I do here? I completely forgot. I was kind of winging it. Oh fuck, I had a... It was 35. Alright. Probably do smoke bomb, no? Or I do shift, actually. What am I doing? Bina! Yeah, for sure. Didn't know this one. I think it's new. Suck my Bina. Dude, this would have saved me. That's the worst part. These 4 points. These notes are pretty good too. Throwing decoy? I mean, I should have throw it in advance. I wasn't expecting the fucking triple damage burst, you know? That's my bad. That would have killed anyone there. Deadly is just stupid. Deadly if not damaged recently. 100% more damage, brothers! 100! More damage, not increased! More! Fuck me, man. Does it need to be 100? 100. It can't be like 50 or 20. 100. Fucking hell, man. Well, look at this one. This one is very fun too. Look at this one. Damage boost. 10% increase, 10 stacks. Another 100% double damage. Another... Hey, and guess what happens if you get this mod with Deadly? That this is double damage, but then Deadly is more damage. So it's not 2 times the damage, it's 4 times the damage. Because the 100 makes it double, and then the double makes it 4. Right? And if you get crit, that's double again. So it's like doubled, doubled, doubled. 8 times the damage if you get crit by this mob. Why? EAG. 8 times. You guys need to understand. You know, if you get a mod at 100 corruption, yeah, that has this mod with Deadly and it crits you, it would be the equivalent of the base damage from 100 corruption to 800 corruption. So what I'm trying to say, if you get these 2 modifiers and you get crit, you get hit by the same amount of damage monsters would hit you at 800 corruption in 100 corruption. Why? Why? Fuck, I got excited there. Ooh. Fuck, that was too much. Ay, ay, ay. Hey, another 80%? It's 40 now. But it, whatever. It goes up, It scales now. I didn't know this. It's 40 and then it scales. A Rampaging. Another 10% increased damage up to 10 stacks. Hey. Enrage. Hey. Gaming. What about this one, guys? How much damage reduction you guys think it's nearby allies take less damage? How much? Guess. How much less damage do enemies take? But it doesn't tell me. Much less damage. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 90, yeah. I don't know why it doesn't say. This one is 75% less damage taken. The nearby one. Then you have the boy damage, fire damage. Hey, another 50%. More health. Giga. This acts as a multiplier, by the way, because it's local. Dude, you know what mod is less fucked in this game than in PoE2? Regen. I had an enemy with health, regen, immunity, and fucking leech or whatever the fuck he had in PoE2. And his HP was like this. Like, I had to go back to town, load up all my mana potions, and fucking used all of it. Touch my Bina. Bina. That's something, huh? Well, I think I'm gonna call it for the day. I'm pretty tired, and it was a pretty interesting conversation. You know, I hope I didn't sound too ranty. But I do think a lot of, you know, Mana Siphon, oh my god. Don't get me started. Why is that? Why is that in PoE2? Because if you're playing range, it's basically useless. But if you play melee, it's like, okay. What? I mean, why? Why is this in the game? Like, maybe I stream a bit tomorrow. We'll see. I'm gonna take a break, guys. I hate that. Yeah. Why is that in the game? And dude, and the worst part is, have you ever had this happen where like you are here, right? You're running away. Like, okay, this was looking very Austrian for a second. Like, I'm safe, right? Yeah, I'm safe. Okay. But you're running this way, you know? And then the fucking monster with the fucking blue aura bullshit is chasing you, yeah? And you're clearly outside of it. You're outside of it, but because there's a fucking desync issue, your mana keeps going down. And you go inside, and you're clearly outside of it, but the fucking, you know, he has movement speed or whatever the fuck. Oh my god, man. What is this? PoE rip? Is this the guy that jumps from out of the screen and goes like boom and kills him? I think I've seen this video before. I'm pretty sure he's gonna jump from here and go boom. No? Oh no. Okay, it's not. This thing, holy fuck. The sound makes it even better, actually. Guy frame from a gulag. What? That's pretty funny. Well, I'll be back tomorrow, guys. We'll see what I do. I'll probably try to get one of these runs for YouTube done, and I'll get the marksman. I mean, that was pretty unlucky, that death, but